Business analytics and marketing research. This is an integrated approach. But you might be asking yourself, isn't business analytics something else? And isn't marketing research something else as well? In terms of focus areas or how they are treated within organizations or even in academics in times, and how are they actually used in businesses? And yeah, they are different in aspects in terms of the way they're used, but at the end of the day, they're both there to answer questions that organizations or in academics that are needed using data as the center. So the most important thing is data as well as the business environment. Whereas in this course, business analytics will refer to actual data, for example, looking at matrix, whether either if it's related to branding, so you can look at different matrices within branding, either you can look at brand awareness, so you can measure brand awareness, but within that business analytics to measure that brand awareness, you then need marketing research, which involves engaging with customers and using the research technique to collect the data. So this is how you should actually frame your mind when engaging in this course. So it is an integrated approach. So business analytics could be, focusing on sales, looking at, for example, if you're looking at an e-commerce example, looking at sales of a website, how many units have they sold on that website. You can look at, the customer geographic, demographic information, where customers actually punch in the information and there you can retrieve the information. And with marketing research, it's primarily mostly looking at, how customers behave or different types of research questions that derive from the marketing mix, which is your 4 Ps of marketing. You could look at research that looks into product, looking at different aspects within the product itself as well. And you can also look at research focusing on price, where you want to look at your price strategy. And you can also look at research focusing on, the third P, which could be distribution or place as the P, whether you're researching where's your optimal place, or if is the geographic opportunity that is out there for your business that you're trying to establish, and as well as your last P would be promotion. So you could be doing research related to different types of promotions, whether you're looking at promotional effectiveness or whether you're looking at opportunities within promotions, understanding what customers want and what customers would actually like to see you promote as a business or an organization that deals with the customers. So within this course, so it will follow a 11 chapter focus in terms of high level, where chapter 1 would essentially look at the introduction to business analytics as well as marketing research. And then chapter 2 will actually look at data collection as well as data management, which is quite important within this course. So all of these chapters are quite important aspects of the integrated approach within business analytics and marketing research. And chapter 3 would look at descriptive analytics, which is an important part of the course as well. In many data courses or any data-driven theory. And chapter 4 would be predictive analytics. And then going on to chapter 5, looking at marketing research fundamentals. So here, this is where we kind of look at the different focus areas. What are marketing research fundamentals? And then also look at qualitative research, which is a method of marketing research. And then another chapter, chapter 7, we look at quantitative research methods, which is another method of marketing research. Then chapter 8 will then delve into data visualization and communication of the data or reporting back. Then chapter 9 would be integrating business analytics and marketing research together. So, which is the essence of this course, which is quite a broader perspective when looking at data-driven decision making, looking at business analytics, as well as bringing in marketing research because business analytics would, in essence, tell you will answer the why, the what is happening, what are my sales, but then marketing research will then bring in the why. So when you have a question, okay, what are my sales for the year? However, if you want to know why are the sales high or why are the sales low, you would then, in essence, need to conduct marketing research to understand why are sales high or low. And then we'd also be looking at chapter 10, which focuses on applications of business analytics and marketing research, the different applications, as well as the final chapter, which focuses on ethics as well as best practices within this field. So chapter 1, in essence, looks at the introduction to business analytics and marketing research. So the first focus we want to look at is the overview of the field and its importance in business. So its importance enables data-driven decisions, which is quite important in organizations whereby you don't want to decide on things that are not facts. So it's quite important. And when let's say you've sold a certain amount of pairs of jeans at a certain location, and then now you decide to ship in more orders into that location, but that was maybe your assumption and it was not reality. You would then be losing money whereby you are exporting or you are shipping certain orders to a certain location where you assumed you're getting your sales, but that's not the reality. Then that will it will then result in a risk and losing of revenue, or having your stock sitting there dead. So using data would actually be the best way to see, okay, actually where am I really getting my sales? So from looking at your data, you can see that you're getting your sales from a certain province within your country or state, wherever you are. And then within there, you can then channel your sales according to the distribution and say, okay, this is where I'm getting most of my sales. So when distributing my new items, I should be proportioning them in a certain way where I'm sending most of my new orders or new stock into where I know I get most of the sales. So that's what also helps when you talk about data-driven decision making, where you're deciding as the business owner or the people running the business as well. It also uncovers patterns and insights for strategic planning. So patterns and insights for strategic planning. So in essence, it's just what I've spoken about. Or you can look at maybe in the middle of the year, you're getting more sales in the bank, but you don't know which month or day within, the middle of the year. So you want to look at the patterns whereby you want to ship in more of your new stock at a certain time. So you then go into the data, look at the patterns, you visualize it in different ways and see, okay, this is when we're getting our sales. You can also get into the detail of the data to understand what is really the date, the time. There's different data warehouses where you can see these data points for strategic planning as well. So that's the level that you need to go to when using data. So we also look at the role of data analytics and marketing research in decision making. So it also provides empirical evidence and insights. So to what I've just spoken about, it gives evidence. So as the executives of a company or business owners, people running a company, it will give you evidence to say, okay, this is what we thought. However, we can see really in the data, this is really what's happening. Then the insights in terms of why is this happening. So looking at your actual data, as well as looking at marketing research data, which is different types of marketing research techniques, could be surveys or any type of technique. And then also it identifies opportunities and mitigate risks. So using the role and the importance of data is that to mitigate risks. So as I've also mentioned earlier, it will help in mitigating those risks of having your inventory dead sitting there, and that leads to losing money from your investments. So also there's different types of data used in business analytics as well as marketing research. So the first important one, which is commonly used in fast-paced environments, it would be structured data. So that will be, example, looking at your sales figures, looking at where your orders are coming from, who are the people that are ordering. So that's structured, whereby you can structure this type of information to get it in quick time, whereby you just ingest the data whenever it happens. So it's different for all industries how data is collected. And then there's also unstructured data. So unstructured data would, in most cases, land within the marketing research space, whereby you need a bit of more lead time to understand the data. There's different techniques such as social media listening, where you scraping or looking at different social media posts, then creating themes, which falls under qualitative research. So all of these fields coming together to create this full picture, and then from there report it back to say, okay, these are the sales figures from the structured data. But then when we look at our unstructured data, we can also see when we do themes that these are what's informing what's happening within the business when looking at data.